Okay, hi everybody. It is Wednesday, September 18th, and the plan for today is this. We have the critique for our digital paintings, and I think what I'd like to do is just start with that. And I, again, want to compliment all of you for being here. And if you brought in your printed digital painting, I do appreciate the fact that you put it up on the wall. And we'll critique them and we'll learn from one another. That's the intention. It's all about the learning experience because, trust me, we are not born knowing this software and we're navigating it. So learning from how each other approach things and what the final result is useful. And then we will address the shape lecture because I didn't do that last time. And we will introduce the real to abstract assignment, which is going to come on you screamingly fast, okay? You'll need to be working on it super fast. And it's complicated, the real to abstract assignment, honestly. But you definitely have the skills for it, no question about it. And then if you want me to review anything on type effects in Illustrator, I can, but that's a pretty no-brainer kind of exercise. Did anybody struggle with type effects in Illustrator as the exercise? No? Anybody do it? Anybody not do it yet? Okay. It's a step-by-step. It tells you, do this, do that. So it's pretty straightforward. Okay, then what I think I'm going to do is pause our video so we can come on over here and critique. How's that? Is the screen on behind me? Great. So what I want to call attention to is your next assignment so you can get a jump start on it for the weekend. And pay close attention to this assignment. Look up here, please. And put your computers to sleep, please. So this is called Real to Abstract. And the Real to Abstract assignment looks simple. The Real to Abstract assignment looks simple. And you do have the skills for it. But the Real to Abstract assignment requires a lot of steps, and people underestimate it. Okay? Real to Abstract focuses very much on positive negative space. The idea of the Real to Abstract is you're going to take a magazine, a paper, not digital magazine. You're going to take an ad from the publication. You're going to take the exact size of the full page of the publication, and you're going to start to do thumbnail sketches for it. Let's see where we're at with this one. And you need to do a lot of thumbnail sketches. And I'm very specific about the criteria for this assignment because I find that if you're not carefully doing your thumbnail sketches for this assignment, you're going to miss the intention of the assignment. The intention of the assignment is that you look at a printed page from something that's photographed, like the composition of an ad, and you start to distill it down to its simplest elements. You essentially create an abstract from a photorealistic ad, okay? And if you look at what I'm saying, like let's just take this one, you focus very much on the darks and the lights. Now you need to have at least, I believe, 6 thumbnail illustrations focusing on black and white, not color, of one composition. So if your ad is 8.5 by 11, your thumbnail shapes won't be square, they'll be rectangular like this. If your ad is like this, your thumbnail sketches will be exactly to scale like this. The idea is not that you eliminate parts of the composition, but focus on the lights and darks. Because if I were to stand here right now with my hands on my hip, I have positive space, which is my body, and negative space, which is the triangle in my arm, right? As it's on my hip. That's your negative space. I find the most successful students who focus on drawing only negative space. So draw everything around my head, but not my face. In other words, if you focus on the negative space, the positive happens without you even doing it. So in other words, you don't have to draw the female figure, but draw the sky, and there is the female figure. Or you don't need to draw the dress, but draw the dark shadows of the dress, and the dress appears. And that's what makes this most successful. So you need to do very specifically 6 thumbnail sketches for each of 3 very different ads. And then you start to do color images. Actually, this student lost her work. So here's the magazine ad she worked from. Here was basically her final composition. She lost all her work. Computer crash was gone. She was devastated. But notice that if you focus on drawing that negative space of the sky, you don't need to draw the female figure. Or if you want to create a sense of movement, you're going to focus on the darks and the lights. The darks and the lights. Don't look and say, oh, she's got a face that has eyes, because the reality is you can't see her eye there. You can see, it's kind of like live trace. You can see the dark hair blurs into this dark thing that's here, and that defines an eye. But most people want to put in the eyes, put in the nose, put in the mouth, draw hair, but that's not how you approach this for a real to abstract composition. Let's see. This gives you some ideas. So the idea is distill it down to its simplest shapes, and you will not ever scan your ad and do that lemon koi fish thing. Don't vector on top of it. You're going to draw, the intention of this assignment is to do extensive thumbnail sketches, and your thumbnail sketches is what you're ultimately going to digitize off of. The other thing is you take your ad, I'm doing this really fast so you can get a jump start on it. The other thing is you take your ad, put it way across the room from you. If you wear glasses, take them off, and then sketch. So in other words, squint your eyes so you can't hardly see anything except darks and lights. And that simple essence of the movement and the darks and the lights, the positive, negative space will evolve for you. Let's take a look at this one. Let's see what this one is. Is this one? That one's not working. Let's see. That one's working.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Are we making 3 compositions to turn in, or just 1?
You're going to make 1 composition. You're going to make, we'll read the criteria for this very simply. There's very specific criteria, but what you should walk into class with on Monday is your 3 ads you've selected. I can see this is going to take forever. Yeah, let's read the criteria together. I even write it super specifically. So what you're first going to do, your exercises, is you analyze an ad. The idea is, where does your eye go? Every graphic artist designs an ad to create a hierarchy of elements. Usually it's designed to have one focal point and then the focal point of whatever it is they're selling. Sometimes they're just selling lifestyle. This one here, I thought it was linked, but I guess it's not, unfortunately. That's lifestyle. They're actually selling sheets. This is, whether you can tell or not, this is a couple tangled up in satin bed sheets. And because the artist distilled it down to the darks and lights of these tangled sheets and tangled limbs also, it's a couple in bed, they're selling lifestyle. They're selling, they're selling sex and sheets. And once you start to distill things down to its most graphic elements, you're going to get a feeling for the movement of a page, right? And how the page is going to carry you from the top of the composition to the bottom or to the focal point. And that's why your thumbnails are so important. So look at an ad. I recommend you pick ads that are focused very much on darks and lights. Find things with lots of contrast. They're more fun if they're ads that have movement. They're just more fun. They're more interesting. And start to look at the shapes and the lines and the arrangement of them in your composition. Then you're going to thumbnail sketch in your journal, and I recommend you thumbnail sketch only in black and white and maybe 1 shade of gray. But distill it down to 3 tones, black, white, gray. And that's going to force you to be abstract. Don't pencil shade it. Don't cross hatch it. Don't stipple it because there's a shadow in the background. If there's a shadow in the background, look at the edge of the shadow, fill it in, make it black, right? Simplify the shapes, because you're going to make an analysis. You're going to create 6 or more fairly complete thumbnail abstractions for 3 ads. So that's 18 thumbnail sketches right there if you do the math. After you have those 18 thumbnail sketches, then you're going to continue sketching using color for these ads. And you're going to make 3 complete, not thumbnail size, a little bit bigger, small abstractions for at least 2 ads. So that's 6 more. Now we're at 24. You doing the math? Everybody always wants numbers for these things.
Hand-drawn.
These are all hand-drawn in your journal. Don't go to the computer. And squint. Put the ad across the room, squint, distill it down, distill it down. When you do the ad in color, again, don't do shading because there's baby blue going to dark blue. Keep it flat. If it's blue, find flat areas of color. It's going to be more engaging. Yeah, Philly?
Question, does it need to have people in the picture?
Not at all. Could be a watch. Could be a canteen. Could be a super cool car. Could be anything. Yeah, Sam?
We get free advertisements when we're doing that to all of them.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But on the final composition, it's 3 of them.
One.
So we pick one after the sketch.
So now you've sketched, now you've got, what I say, 24 sketches. Then you select 1 or 2 ads. I'd rather you do 2. Because what you find is you'll see something different when you start working on the second one. And by using your sketches, then go to your computer, start from nowhere land, okay? Don't start from, you're gonna have a blank page. Start creating a digital file from looking at your sketches of these ads. The idea is that you're looking at the essence of the movement or the positive negative space of a composition. Because there's always a hierarchy to a composition. There's always a balance to a page. There's a way to create a dynamic energy as you flow. Most ads are going to have type on it. They'll have some headline. If you squint your eyes, I'll bet you anything the headline disappears, or it becomes a block of like white, or it becomes a block of black, but no need for type in here. If it has a lot of weight in terms of the balance, often a logo will have a weight on a page, meaning a form, a shape, it changes the balance of the page. You can represent that in an abstract way. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see this one. This is an example of, this is a great example of thumbnails. And then I know we're going to have to go. So let's just see if this will load. But what I'd like for you to walk in the class with is all of your thumbnail sketches in your journal, all of your magazine ads selected. This one's going to move really quickly for you.
Do we
Yeah.
have to scan the magazine ads or?
You could take a snapshot of them with your cell phone, okay? But yes, I want to see what the ad is that you're working from. Otherwise, I don't know how you distilled it down.
We can use magazine covers or magazine.
You can use magazine covers, ads,
So
but
if
I
we
want
have
a full page composition. I'd select something that's not text heavy. And I also would select something that has movement. Mostly it's just more interesting. Yeah, Kat?
Can you use an image off the internet?
No, cannot use the internet. I want you to get paper and post it across the room. So here's the ads that this student worked with. And did you have a question, Ed?
What, do you want the final thing to be the size of the actual ad, like it's one of those little paper?
100% size.
Okay.
100% size. If you have an 8.5 by 11 ad, you're going to post 8.5 by 11. If you have a tabloid publication, it's tabloid size. Don't work smaller than 8.5 by 11 though. Like don't get a little insert in a magazine and make that what you do. Well, here's all these sketches. You guys, I know you can look at this up close, but here's a good example of digital development. The students, of course, over the top. I think she did all 3. She played with something called the flare tool. There's some subtleties in the flare tool that I think gets a little bit lost on this ad, but it was successful. Flare tool is kind of a kick. And here was her final presentation. And here's how she handled the blocks of type. It might have had value or it might have been unnecessary. But if it had weight in the composition, yes or no. But anyway, come to class. It's time for us to go, but come to class with your thumbnails, with your sketches, with your ads, and we'll keep going from there. Have a great week.